Give me a C.
C.
Give me an R.
R.
Give me an A.
A.
Give me a P.
P.
What's that spell?
Crap, crap, crap.
We watched Cheerleader Camp to the death. We watch it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show. Really?
What is up, Moon Goons? Welcome to the next episode of Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. With me today again, we're back after a long convention. We are here with Mr. Aaron Southworth.
Fresh back from the con.
I don't know why I
ladies and
said we,
gentlemen.
it's just us, but
Yeah, here we are. But fresh back from the con, great time. Met a lot of cool people. Some,
awesome time.
great time. Local people, internet, national people. Good times.
Very good times. But we are here. That is over now.
We're back to the grind.
We're back to the grind, and what better way to start off with a shitfest of a movie called Cheerleader Camp to the Death.
Yes, to the death, not Cheerleader Camp 2.
Yeah, which at first, depending on where you find it, I found it on Amazon, but there are some movie posters where they spell to the death with the two
with the number 2
to make it seem like a sequel to the original 80s Cheerleader
Trying to-
Camp, but it's not.
They're just trying to piggyback off of Cheerleader Camp.
It's totally not. It's not related to the original Cheerleader Camp in any sense of the word.
Those fucks.
This one was originally released on October 13th of 2014 and then re-released in 2016. Now,
So this is fresh. This is
pretty fresh.
This is a fresh little daisy for us.
yeah, Daisy would, Daisy ground up piece of shit, but
Okay.
I think what happens is it was made in 14 and then it finally got picked up for distribution on Amazon in 2016 or something like that.
Right.
It's another short movie along the lines of Halloween Haunts
And thank God.
and Killer Eye and some of the other, and Ginger Dead Man. It says it's got a runtime of 70 minutes, but really it's about 62 minutes because the end credits are 8 minutes long.
The slowest credits I've ever seen
Thank
in my
you.
life.
I was going to get to those. They are.
Jesus Christ, those
snail
things
moves
just
faster than those things.
trickle by.
Yeah. It's written by John Kliza and Christian Sellers, directed by Dustin Ferguson. Now, Dustin Ferguson does have a decent list of directing credits. He is somewhat experienced. He's got 24 directing credits to his name, but they're all shitty horror movies like this. That's his bread and butter.
So while he has a lot of stuff, he hasn't really improved his craft.
No, like movies like Camp Blood 4 and 5, Die Sister Die, Slumber Party Slash-a-thon, and just to relate to back what we did at the con, he did Sleepaway Camp 2, What Happened to Molly, which was like a little short where I guess kind of picks up at the very end where with the freeze frame where Molly's outside the truck and you never know what her fate.
Huh.
So I guess they made a short about what happens to her.
Okay.
Which I'd watch it. I'd be curious.
We might have to tune in.
I tried to look for it. Now the cast of this movie is that.
I think you nailed it. I think that was... Bravo. I think that may be the most accurate description I've ever heard.
Almost everyone in this cast also worked on Dustin Ferguson's other movies too, which we've seen a pattern of that.
Sure.
7 of the 14 people in this movie, so half the cast are all in some of his other movies, like just exact same ones. Now the only 2 people that are worth like name wise are worth mentioning is I'm about to sneeze, so I apologize if this comes out. I'm trying to hold it in. Coach Paddington is played by Jennifer Banco. Now, she has maybe a little bit of clout in the horror industry from a long time ago.
Yeah, she's a little older.
She has 20 credits, but she really kind of got into fame as she played Leatherface's daughter in Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. She was also in Barbed Wire, the Pam Anderson movie in the 90s.
Nice, yeah.
And she had TV roles on Married with Children, Boy Meets World, a Jeff Foxworthy show, Sunset Beach, Pacific Palisades, Unhappily Ever After, Pacific Blue, a bunch of other TV spots. But her first ever role, period, was playing young Tina Shepard in Friday the 13th Part 7, the one that Aaron and I always like. That's one of like to telepathic.
The one where
to
she's on the boat,
teleconnect.
like, no, daddy. Like when dad's hitting the mom and she goes on the boat, she's like, and the dock starts shaking and he starts falling. She's going, no, daddy, no.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, man. Awesome.
Yeah, that's her.
Now she's in this piece of
Now she's
shit.
in this.
And just a quick side note, barbed wire. Talk about the biggest titty tease ever.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
that was
Jesus
such
Christ.
a tit tease movie.
Oh, man. Ugh.
For a woman who's posed like historically record-wise in a Playboy magazine,
Right?
She does
the
a whole
sex
movie,
tapes and
the
everything.
sex,
Yeah,
this is before the sex tape, but still, it's
come
like
on.
the whole reason people went to that movie was to see her titties,
To see her giant boobs.
And that was not
And you
the case.
know, fuck you.
You get some side boob tease, but that was it. And let's see if there's anything else. There's a girl. The character in the movie named Betty is played by Danielle Brookshire. The only thing funny about her is in 3 of her 5 other credits, she's all playing a character named Danielle. So,
Okay.
it's just weird. And then the last person I've mentioned, and I wrote a lot about him just because this is the most interesting part about this whole movie, is Caretaker Quinn is played by Ari Lehman. Now, he's another horror icon, sort of. Some people might consider him an icon. He has 27 credits to name, lots of horror movies. But his big claim to fame, again, just like he played the original child Jason in Friday the 13th 1 and 2. He was the kid who leaped out of the water in the iconic ending.
No.
That's him. Yeah.
Weird.
He and again connected back to the convention, and one of our bonus episodes. He was also in the movie Telephone, which stars Kayla Perkins who we interviewed and met at the con.
Fresh up on our website. Check it out.
He's also a lead singer in a band called First Jason, which is like a horror punk metal band.
He's riding that one.
Oh yeah, and there's some interesting things about that, kind of fun about it because it's more interesting than the movie, honestly. You heard about the audition being held in Westport for a new movie called Manny's Orphans, about a group of inner-city orphans who play soccer, directed by Sean S. Cunningham. Ari snuck into the audition and actually landed a role, his first role ever. Now, this led Ari to getting the call to play Jason in Friday the 13th from Sean S. Cunningham, who produced and directed that movie. And he famously asked him, "Can you swim?" Ari replied yes, and then the rest is history.
Cool.
So that's how he got hooked up with being
First Jason.
First Jason.
First film appearance of Jason, and now he's doing
this.
Cheerleader Camp to the Death.
Yeah. So
Fuck.
And he's barely in it. He's got a small part too.
Yeah.
So I was head first in this.
Oh, let's do a back handspring on in.
Yeah.
You know, a cartwheel on in, or I guess whatever cheerleaders.
Back handspring, yeah.
Whatever cheerleaders fucking do.
Sorry, the movie has one of the worst, but yet one of the best openings I've ever seen. Like, it starts off with this group of cheerleaders. They're practicing their cheers, and the sprinkler system comes on, but instead of being sprayed with water, the water's been replaced with acid.
Acid.
And all the girls just immediately start burning and melting.
So they're standing there in their little uniforms. They're doing their routine. It's a little slutty. You know, and they're showing their butts, lifting it up, and it's a little, but it's like, good job, everyone, yay! Sprinklers come on,
okay,
and
I do want to mention I assume you noticed basically the suicide girl of the cheerleader squad.
Yeah,
these are supposed to be high school kids, and she's like covered in tattoos,
covered in ink, which is great. So the sprinkler system comes on, and they all just go, ew, oh, and then they just start screaming,
yeah.
Ah! And they're just taking it.
Yeah, they don't.
They
don't even run away from the ass. They just stand there and take it.
Why don't you just jog away? Just like Master Blaster would say, or not? Was it Master Blaster? Oh no. God damn it! I can't think of his name.
I don't know.
Mad Max, Lord, awesome Lord. The Ayatollah of rock and rolla.
Chris Jericho.
Walk away. Walk away.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the sprinklers are in a fixed position. They cannot just move out of the way.
Well, they're just standing there, and then their faces are melting, and they're peeling off their skin on their face.
This is the best. These are the best effects in the entire. It's like they blew their entire budget wad in this opening scene.
And it's not a bad. It's
no,
pretty good
it's
effects.
really not.
So they're peeling their faces off, their skin's coming off, they're all screaming, and one girl spits out her tongue.
Yeah, her tongue melts off, and she spits out into her hand.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. And then they all start to fall over like slutty dominoes.
Yeah, it's one by one. And the weird was the last one to fall. Like it was like I almost imagine being on the set and the director's like, "All right, you guys die," And it's like she looks like she's refusing to die. It's
Yeah,
like, no,
she
I'm
wanted-
gonna be the last
I'm
one
gonna be the
standing.
last
Because you
bitch
kind of look
standing.
around watching her
Yeah.
watch the other
But
girls
it's like
fall.
they fall like slutty dominoes.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
kinda do.
one bumps into the other, to the another, to the another, to the another, and then going around a circle. And the one girl kind of moves out of the way.
Yeah, it's like,
So
I'm
she-
gonna make sure I'm be the
so
last
she
one
could
standing.
be the last one standing.
So, and as they're all dying and melting, like this male cheerleader coach just watches them.
Yeah.
And he tries to look scared and shocked, but his acting is so bad that he can't even pull off simple facial
He
expressions.
just covers his mouth with his hand going, "Huh."
He looks more like he just watched his dog shit on somebody else's floor instead of witnessing
he's
the
a-
gruesome deaths of an entire cheerleading team.
He looks more embarrassed than shocked.
Yeah. He's like,
like,
uh-oh.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm in this movie. Oh.
So now the opening credits roll, and which consists of like 80s hair metal over montages of various cheerleading performances.
And again, like 80s cheerleading performances. It was like old
It's like
footage.
straight from the VHS.
Yeah, it's like old found footage of like, short, tight, poofy, permed up hair.
Yeah, in like 70s and 80s
real
cheerleaders.
slim gals doing, cheerleader routines.
So after credits, we get 1 year later. Well, years pass now, and this group of 6 cheerleaders are riding in a van on the way to cheerleading camp, along with the camp's, I guess, head cheer coach, who's played by Jennifer Banco.
Right.
The slutty, bitchy blonde girl immediately starts picking on the dark hair girl, making fun of her being like pale and I guess goth-like. Although she's really not goth.
She's got dark hair.
She's got
and
dark
she's
hair,
pale.
and she's not all black with makeup and all that.
Yeah,
She's
she
just
doesn't have any tattoos or anything
No.
like that. She's not wearing like a metal shirt or anything like that. Yeah, she's just a girl.
yeah, and so apparently it seems like each of these girls is from a different school, which again I think is odd. And I've never been to a cheerleading camp myself, but I would think
You
that
haven't?
no,
Huh.
I missed out on that. But I would think that one, there'd be more than just 6 girls attending this camp. So this is either a really shitty camp or it's like super elite if there's only 6 girls attending.
Well, that was kind of the thing they were kind of getting at, is because the rich bitch, the bitchy one, she's like, my dad comes from a good family. He's spending good money. And
Yeah, that does
scum
come up
like
later.
you shouldn't be here. He's spending, like they mentioned a few times, and then when they get to the fucking camp, the place looks like dog
Oh,
shit.
we're gonna talk about the camp.
Oh my God.
And the other thing about that is I think is weird is that one, I would think a whole cheerleading team would attend and not just one girl from a team.
Right. What are they gonna learn?
Because it's like
What-
how you said
you learn as a team.
Yeah, exactly. It's a team. Now I'm basing all my information solely on the movie Bring It On from what I've from that cheerleader camp movie.
That's I
But
know
I
one
mean-
of your favorites.
But I'm just saying, like at least in that movie, like they had whole teams there competing and learning together, not just one girl from each team.
Because what are you gonna do? It's just, yeah.
I mean,
it
this
doesn't make
is, and
sense.
it's not like this is like the Olympic cheerleader team where you get the best of the best
Right,
from
right.
camp team to come together it's weird. I don't understand it. It doesn't
You
make
got the
sense.
one girl from Mississippi who can do the best back handspring and has perky tats.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So anyway, during the ride, one of the girls in the back asks if this is the place where all those girls got murdered last year, and then Banco, Coach Paddington, which is Banco, tells them that it doesn't matter. That was last year. Don't worry about it.
she's not a very good coach. She's just letting them all bitch at each other.
Yeah, she
She's
every
got,
now and then
like-
she's like, stop it.
She's got like no power.
No. She also tells them no cell phones are allowed at camp because, of course, that's in every movie. Can't have cell phones.
Because, it pokes too many holes these
Yeah.
days. So they gather up all the cell phones in a
Yeah,
bag.
they put them in a bag, and she takes the bag. So eventually, they're all just dropped off at this parking lot.
Yeah, now this is weird.
Just gravel lot, like out in the woods.
And mind you, the sound quality is...
This is where it plummets here.
It was piss poor to begin with, but it just gets really worse. So basically
Yeah.
what happened, they get dropped off, and they have to walk a mile
Yeah, to the
into
camp.
And, when you think of a cheerleader, you think of an athletic gal.
Yeah.
Someone who's very fit. And they come pouring...
Unless they're the base.
Hey, you still got to be strong as
That's
hell, man.
true,
You still got to have a physical, you got to be athletic. They come pouring out of the van, and they're all just either skin and bones or, like, kind of chubby, and
Yeah,
they're
they're
just...
pretty much all skin and bones except for Blondie, who's the thickest one. But she's not really fat. She just looks chubby
She's thick,
compared to
yeah,
because everybody
yeah.
else is sticking this
But
twig.
none of them have an athletic build. Like, none of them really look like in any way, shape, or form could be an athlete.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll give you that
they
one.
don't look like cheerleaders at all. They just
No.
look like they should be at Starbucks smoking cigarettes and drinking coffees all day.
Yeah, so yeah, the van, they start walking. The van just leaves. The van drops them off and leaves. And because we said this is where sound quality is really shitty here. And I'm guessing the filmmakers were relying on like the built-in mics on the camcorders and not
because
boom mics.
you can't. All you hear are bugs.
Yeah, and you hear
like
you hear voices,
murmurs,
but you
yeah.
can't understand what
It's
they're saying.
really hard.
And there's no subtitles on this movie because I tried turning subtitles on because I can't hear this, but there's no subtitles. So they come to this sign for Horizon Fields Cheerleader Camp, which in great shitty movie fashion is just a tiny wooden sign nailed to a tree in the middle of a forest.
It's really shitty.
So, and if I was him, I'd be like, I want my money back already. Like,
Yeah.
this is the sign of the camp.
I gotta walk a mile in, and there's a sign at camp.
And there's only 6 of us, and that's a sign nailed to a tree, huh?
Get fucked.
Yeah. So when we finally arrive at the camp, we see that it's just a house in the woods with overgrown grass and a crappy handmade banner that reads, "Welcome Cheerleaders," taped to the side of a house. I mean, that's it. So they enter this building, and they're greeted by caretaker Quinn. Now, why the janitor is the one greeting them and not like the camp director or another coach is beyond me. And yet another sign that just camp is just shit.
Yeah, he's very polite.
He's very polite,
nice.
but it's like I've never gone to like a camp or,
Yeah,
a seminar or an event or something, and the janitor's the one greeting me.
Right.
And he even checks him in like a desk clerk at a hotel. He's like, "Oh, let me sign you in and get you your keys, and I'll show you to your rooms." I'm like, what? Who is running this place?
This guy wears a lot of hats.
Yeah. So Banco presents the girls with their camp shirts, and again, it's just one more indication of how shitty this place is, because they don't even get proper matching camp shirts like we see in nearly every other camp movie. Even Sleepaway Camp, the series camp, they all had matching camp shirts. None of these shirts match. They're just generic, solid-colored shirts, and each girl wears a different color. So I'm assuming this
Got it from the thrift store.
I'm guessing this is done to help differentiate one boring, interchangeable girl from the next.
Because they don't have fucking names.
Yeah, instead of names, you just refer to them as the color of their shirt, which is what I do.
I don't know any of their names, and I watched this movie twice, and I don't have any of their fucking names.
I get a few names.
I know I got the one. I got Courtney's the bitch.
Courtney's the blonde
and
bitch.
That's it.
I know there's a Betty and like a Tanya, and that's it.
So I just called them, bitchy.
I just call them by the color of their shirt.
Oh,
that's
good.
exactly what I did.
Good.
So, so the pale girl, that blonde girl makes fun of earlier, who is, again, she will now be referred to as Purple or Purple Shirt. She's in her bunk with Blue Shirt, and they chit-chat in the room, again, but it's really hard to hear because sound quality goes up.
Yeah.
Purple starts to cry and tells her story about how she was one of the 6 girls that was supposed to spend their summer here last year.
This story goes on for like 5
Forever.
minutes.
I know.
And it has stuff to do with her having insomnia, and then she's sleeping good, and then she's
not
feeling
sleeping
depressed.
good. Yeah,
like, I don't give a fuck. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
God, it's so ridiculous. This is what you need to know out of this conversation.
Yeah, okay.
She was supposed to be part of the group that got killed last year.
She was one
and
team
didn't make
from
it.
from Westbridge, was the high school Westbridge
and
cheerleading team.
She didn't make it.
Yeah.
So because she was sick or something,
And
that's it. That's all you really need to know.
Yeah, I mean, she meant, yeah, okay. Father died, sister went to college, she lost her appetite for some reason at that point, and then she started becoming like anorexic or something.
Yeah.
But
that never comes back. So
no, it really doesn't. She said she passed out during a cheer practice, and she woke up in the hospital. Doctors put her on bed rest, which is why she had to skip the camp, and was replaced by a girl named Zoe Decker, who keeps popping back. That name keeps coming up.
But
and then she tells her about the girls being burnt by the acid and how she should have been one of them. She has like survivor's guilt. So, and at that point, I'm like, why the fuck would you even come here?
Right.
Why? If that's the case, I would want nothing to do with this place. Like, oh my god, I almost was here and would have been dead.
I dodged a bullet.
Yeah, I'm not going back there. But she comes here. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like she's not coming here to, like, track down the murderers. Like, she has no agenda. She's just there to cheer. You can go to another cheerleading camp to cheer.
You can go to any other fucking place.
She's not there to avenge the deaths of her friends or anything or find the culprit.
And she said, I think they even asked her, and she goes, well, face your fears.
Ugh, God.
Whatever.
So, also, let's mention that, like, we're talking about the opening scene. The opening scene was clearly shot at, like, a high school.
Yeah.
I mean, we see the school there. They show it clearly. And like,
There's
the
like a
football field with the
there's a fence
scoreboard
and
behind them.
yeah.
And
None of this
none of this is at the shitty camp in the woods. I mean, it's clearly 2 different locations, but yet it's supposed to be the camp. No, fuck you, filmmakers. We're not idiots.
Well, let's go outside and watch them practice now. So this is when the team or the girls are outside practicing.
Yeah, and the caretaker is sneaking around the woods, and he kind of spots him and watches them from behind the bushes. And Purple is leading the girls in a cheer. And why is she leading? I don't know. She's a cameraman like the rest. I'm like, shouldn't Coach Panton or
Teaching him
Banco be
something.
the one leading?
And
But she's leading.
It's really lame. They're going through this routine, but then out of nowhere walks this guy out of the woods.
Oh, okay,
And
okay. Before we get there, give me 1 second. Oh my God, we're coming up there. Let me introduce. Okay, we have just to clarify who we have here. We have Purple. We have Blue Shirt, who is holding the most generic and cheap pom poms I've ever seen. They're like pom poms on a stick. Like I've never actually seen cheerleaders use them, but you seem like I'm like
Sure.
3-year-old girls cheerleading costumes at like a Johnny Brock's costume, like this kind of costume bag. And then you have Pink Shirt, which is Courtney's snobby bitch in pink. You have Green Shirt, and then you have Neon Yellow or Neon Green, depending on what lighting there is, the shirt changes color, and Orange Shirt. So that's who we have. And this is where we're coming to. Like, out of fucking nowhere. It just drops into slow motion. And
this
you go ahead, you can take this one.
This guy comes out of the woods with no shirt on, and he's just like glistening, and this really loud like grind kind of music. It's like, yeah, we're gonna get
yeah,
you know,
like horrible dubstep, like
really crazy music comes on, and he just comes out, and he's got a 6-pack and everything, and he's just rubbing
barely.
his body.
I mean, he's supposed to be like the sexy hunky guy, but he's in shape, he's trim, but he's not.
Sure,
He's not like.
But he's just
complete...
rubbing himself and rubbing his hands through her hair, and Purple Shirt is just going, oh, like her jaw.
Her panties are wet at this point.
Kaboosh!
Yeah, she's getting moist in another
like
reason.
she just cannot take enough of this, and then it cuts back to it cuts to her, and she's just like rubbing her nips and stuff. She's just totally into it, and it goes back to him, and now he's covered in blood.
Yes, blood is being sprayed on him from somewhere.
Just blood all over him, and
he's
he's still like rubbing himself all sexy with blood all over him, and it cuts back to her again, still jilling off.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I was like, what is happening?
This music, the sound quality is so bad, everything's so quiet, this music's so loud. I'm just, what the fuck is happening? So this goes on for a minute, and then Purple's standing there, and then a sprinkler hits her.
Comes back on.
And now I'm thinking, okay, is it acid? I don't know, but a sprinkler hits her, and it wakes her up out of her daze.
Yeah.
And then
that's it. And then it cuts the Banco.
And Courtney's supposed to say something clever, but you can't hear what the fuck she says because the sound is so bad. And that's the scene.
That is the scene.
And it just never comes back.
Nope.
We don't know who the fuck this kid was.
Never
we
see
don't
him
know
again.
what he was. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I guess he was hallucinating. You never see him, and it's not like she ever hallucinates again later in the movie. Like she's saying things.
We never see him again.
Such a weird,
never says a
one
thing.
and done thing.
It's so fucking strange.
Yeah. So we go to Banco and the caretaker talking, and he tells her that his duties are done, and he's off to go fishing for a week. I also noticed that behind them in this conversation is a wheelbarrow filled with, like, just overflowing with prop decoy ducks used for duck hunting.
They didn't know that.
And again, like, why would a cheerleading camp have these? Like, why would this be at a cheerleading camp? And this takes him to him fishing at sunset, where, for no reason at all, he just falls and rolls down a slight hill, like, into the water's edge. That's the whole scene.
Supposed to be comedic. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's not like the fish. He's just standing there, all of a sudden he just falls, and that's the whole scene. I don't know what the point of that was, or why it was even there in the first place. But that's it. And now we see a car pull up to where the van dropped the girls off, and Pink walks up to the car where a guy in a panda suit asks her if she really wants to go through with this, and she says yes.
I'm thinking maybe she's into furries.
Yeah, she's into furries.
She's
now that would be an awesome twist.
She's lonely. She's bored. She, finds a guy on Craigslist to,
furry.
satisfy her furry.
That would make this movie so much better.
It would.
So we also learned that he brought her a bear trap for some reason, which
she's into some weird
is
kinks.
A surprise for a girl. She says, "Oh, that's a surprise for a girl who doesn't belong here." And I'm like, "Good God, that's a bit extreme."
It's fucking brutal.
A bear trap, which is like comically large. Like, I've never seen a bear trap this big before.
It's like half the size of a kitchen table.
It's like a T-Rex trap.
Yeah.
It's gigantic. And so she takes this insane large bear trap from him, and she starts to walk off when he shouts out, "Hey, why the hell am I even doing this? You don't even know my name." And on that, she pulls her shorts down and flashes him her ass in a pink thong, and then just walks away. Like,
And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's why I was
ass."
doing it, ass."
And now a Jeep pulls up next to this car, and he asks if that's Courtney. Are you fucking serious? You just watched her walk away with a bear trap right in front of you.
She's still in the
And
distance.
she would still be visible. And you're asking if she's in the Jeep that just pulled up from behind you? Oh! So he gets out of the car, walks around to the driver's side Jeep, and looks inside, and there's nobody there. And he finds a manila envelope with the word cheer on it and 2 pom-poms. He opens it up and he opens the door, takes the envelope, and why would he do this? I don't know. There's nothing special about the envelope. It's marked for cheerleading camp, so not out of the ordinary.
And
he just basically steals somebody's property, invades their car, and he opens up the envelope and he pulls out a card that reads, "No boys allowed." And this is when he's stabbed in the back by a pitchfork. He falls to the ground and says, "My name is Matt Copeland. Fuck
and
you."
fuck you.
And then he dies.
I gotta say, I kind of liked it.
Which are just, I thought those are some odd last words.
Yeah,
but
he gets stabbed in the back, falls, and goes, "My name is Matt Copeland, and
Fuck
fuck
you."
you." He just dies.
Yeah.
So then they pulled. This is something stupid too. Is they pulled out the pitchfork and blood is spurting out, and it has that sound effect of like being slimed. It's like it's a stock sound effect that you've heard a million times, but it's used on like Scooby Doo cartoons when they're sliding in mud or something. It's such bullshit. I heard that and I was like, really? Come on.
I also want to talk about, can we mention how improbable that would be? Like, how, one, the killer knows that boy's coming. 2, to have that note ready and be there right on time. 3, get out of the car without
it's
being
a
seen.
Jeep,
It's
yeah.
a Jeep. Like, there's no way this happens in real life.
And it's ridiculous.
Like, she must be a psychic to realize that.
Well, she played one. Well,
She played a young psychic.
She played a young psychic.
Well, she wasn't a psychic. She was just telekinetic.
Oh, she was a telekinetic. That's
she's
right.
not
That's
psychic.
right. She was, yeah.
So now we catch
She's
up.
not Jean Grey. She's
No.
just telekinetic. Got it.
Well, Jean Grey's telekinetic, and
That's why I'm saying she's not Jean Grey.
no, she's not Jean
Yeah,
Grey.
all right.
Okay. So we catch up with the rest of the girls telling like scary stories around this tiny, tiny little like baby lantern. It's like,
Yeah, it's like a
it's
Coleman.
so
it's
cute
a
and
small
adorable.
Coleman
It's
lantern.
like baby's
Yeah.
Fisher Price lantern.
Yeah,
baby's first lantern. And hold on to your butts because it's about to get really stupid and weird here. So Pink tells a story about a deranged killer that was a legendary porn star in the 70s with a 12-inch cock. And she says that one day while filming an orgy, he just snapped and lost it. He fucked everyone on set, crew, actors, and even some pizza delivery person.
Fucked them to
Fucked
death.
them to death with his foot-long schlong. And over the next 3 nights, he killed dozens of people, both men and women.
Just out on the streets.
His Alec just fuck him to death. And he was cornered in a dildo warehouse where he fucked to death the SWAT team that tried to arrest him. And one of them was found with a large hole in the back of his head.
From his cock.
From his cock. What?
Wow.
That is in this movie. Now, actually, I won't lie. I wish it would have shown flashbacks, like actually recorded that and shown that. 'Cause
That'd be kind of funny.
that would be pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
But, so later that night, Bank goes wandering around the woods in like a silk robe with a flashlight for some unknown reason. She's just out in the woods. We don't know why. She's just there.
And she's like creeping.
Yeah.
She's like squatted down, like sneaking and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
But you never know why. She's not like,
Yeah.
oh, somebody's out there. Like, she's just there.
No reason.
And she enters a greenhouse and she sees someone in the back and she's like, oh, it can't be you. And walks straight towards the camera, shining the flashlight right into the lens. Cut away to the outside of the greenhouse, which just lit up by the light of her flashlight, and we hear the sounds of her being killed.
But it's even shitty sounds. It's just like dunk dunk.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It's really bad stabbing.
I couldn't tell what was happening. I was like, is she getting killed? What's going on? Because the very next picture is a skeleton with fire around it.
Yeah, it's sunrise now. It burning charred skeleton with awful CGI fire. Like, not like it's not the skeleton's not burning. It's like there's the skeleton and they put fire in front of the skeleton.
And so I'm sitting there thinking, did she just get killed? And that's now her burning? because I'm kind of confused.
Yeah.
Like the editing was so bad. I didn't know. I'm like, I guess she got killed, or they're burning. And the skeleton is very comical. I mean, it's a really shitty skeleton.
Yeah, it's not good. Like I said, they blew all their budget on the acid melting in the first scene. So and we're on that skeleton for like maybe 5 seconds. It jumps right back to the girls who are waiting around for breakfast, and they're wondering about the whereabouts of Banco. And one of them says she found this on her bed, and she produces another manila envelope. And when opened, the card on it reads 6. There's a red 6 on the card.
Right.
Now we cut to Pink and her sidekick Orange having a dance party in the grass.
Yeah, there's this weird like montage of them playing around playing
Yeah,
grab
it's
ass.
like and
it goes on for like
a long-
5 minutes.
Yeah. So, Pink and Orange are just dancing it up. And Purple and Blue play catch with the
They're playing
frisbee.
frisbee.
While
yeah.
Green and Neon go for like a walk in the woods.
Yeah, and the music is like weird 70s like funk, like boo boo.
It's really
like
weird.
80s like if any of our listeners have ever heard of Blowfly before, he was like one of the very first rappers in the early 80s, but he was like a pornographic rapper. I highly recommend his stuff. He just recently passed away. R.I.P. Blowfly. But his music was out there, and some of his songs are Come Fuck the Devil, Computer Fuck, Spanish Fly, Ain't No Lie. So check him out.
Yeah, I put it more as like just god awful shitty electronic music. That's
that's what it was too.
And during this, Green and Neon, they end up dancing on top of like some old building that looks like it might have been some kind of like watchtower or like a hunter's shed or who knows. But they're walking in the woods next to they're dancing on top of a building too.
It's really
like,
it's long and stupid.
So finally it ends, and Pink goes on another bullying rant targeted at Purple. And during the rant, Pink says that her daddy spent good money to send her here, and if that's the case, then he got majorly ripped off.
Big time.
If I was her dad, I'd be fucking pissed.
The thing that really bugs me also just about this film in general is that no one took the time to fucking mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Keep the grass, because when they're walking around, I mean, we're talking, it's like past their ankles.
Yeah, it's shitting high. It's
Yeah,
easy.
it's
like if this is an
really
expensive cheerleader camp, you would think the grounds would be well maintained. They have a fucking groundskeeper who apparently says dudes are dumb, but
he's busy doing other things, Marshall.
Yeah, he's barely falling into water somewhere. Falling into lake.
He's busy like cleaning the rooms. He's maintaining. He's checking people in.
We ain't getting their key.
Yeah, he's doing craft services.
Yeah.
Come on. So
he's probably the cook. Yeah, the
guy's
cook
doing
too.
everything. But I mean, really, just from a production standpoint, mow the fucking grass that you're going to shoot in.
Yeah, like, obviously
You don't
that's
have to do
somebody's
all of
house.
it.
They film just cut.
Just
I
fucking-
thought the same thing. Like I was like, because the first time I saw it, like that bothered me too. Like, God damn, cut the grass.
It's
at
bad.
least. That's like that is not going to cost you anything.
No.
Just cut some grass. And so Purple calls Pink tits and heels, and this is apparently enough to cause Pink to storm off in rage. So meanwhile, Green and Neon, they're off somewhere talking about boys, and Green looks like a fetus with giant teeth. She is a weird looking girl. She's really skinny head and really thin and long, but she's got these giant buck teeth. Like she's odd looking.
It's called meth, Marshall.
Probably. So Purple and Blue can become buddy buddies in this movie now. So they're talking about the missing coach, and again, I should mention almost all these girls look like they're in their early 20s and nowhere near high school age.
Yeah, well, they look. Well, early 20s is generous.
Yeah,
they're looking like they're on the wrong side of 20.
Like they're clearly nowhere near high school age.
No, not at all.
So
it made me also think: are they college cheerleaders?
Yeah, but they're high school.
Still doesn't make any
they always talk
fucking
about
sense,
Westbridge High School and all that.
Yeah.
So Pink leads Orange out to show her the now set and hidden bear trap she's set up in the field, and then tells her about her plan to get Purple. And another long scene of Purple, Blue, and Neon walking and talking about the missing coach in the woods. It's boring.
Bullshit.
Nothing happens. So back at the cabin / house, Orange is touching up her makeup in a mirror and doing her hair. And again, I'm not a girl, but why would she be wearing makeup at a girls only camp in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the summer heat? I don't understand. Like, why? Most girls, I'd be like, thank God I don't have to wear makeup.
Gotta keep it fresh,
it's
Marshall.
fucking hot.
Gotta.
We're cheerleading all day. We're gonna be sweaty. Like, I don't know who she's trying to impress or why. I don't know. I thought it was weird. Like that she'd be doing makeup here. So she hears noises coming from behind her, but she sees nothing at first. And then she suddenly stands up and spins around, ready to stab a mystery person with
wielding a vibrator.
a pink vibrator that is turned on and vibrating. Like, what?
Where did this come from?
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna say, okay, girl, bring your vibrator, sure.
Fine.
But
it's on the vanity where you're doing your makeup, and
Yeah,
all of a
and
sudden this is your weapon of choice?
and why would you have it out as a weapon? Yeah, exactly. I don't mind if you have it.
I'm
more
going
power
to...
to you,
Maybe
but-
she's thinking I'm going to fuck you to death. Who knows?
Like, yeah, she took a lesson from the porn star
Right.
story. Like, what is she gonna do with that? So she spins around, and she's now face to face with someone in a freshly cleaned panda suit. And so I'm guessing whoever washed and used a shit ton of OxyClean to get all that blood out, because they do show like being stuffed in the washer, but there was so much blood on that thing that I call bullshit. That thing would be stained
Yeah.
red.
Well, hey, Billy Mays sold it. You know? Yeah.
So Orange drops the vibrator. The panda stabs her through the eye with some sort of...
With a cheerleader baton.
Yeah, okay, at first it took me forever to figure
It
out
was
what
a
this
fucking
fucking... It wasn't
baton.
until like the very end of the movie that I figured this out as a baton. But yeah, it's a twirling baton that he took one of the rubber ends off of.
No, the rubber end is still on the back. This is the thing. That
No,
like,
the thing that popped out was her eye in the back.
no.
Yeah, it was her eye that pops
I
out through
don't
the
think
back of her
so.
head, and then the sticking out the front is still has the white rubber end. But I swear, like when he stabs it through her eye and it comes into her skull, it's her eyeball.
This is
that's
the
on
best.
the end.
This is the best part: is that she gets stabbed to the head or stabbed to the eye. They show a picture of her, and she goes, "Ah!" and then they show the back of her head, where poof, it punches through.
Yeah.
So it's like stab, delayed scream, delay puncture to the back of the head. It's like
Yeah.
1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, scene. So it's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
So time passes and Green enters.
Nailed it. Sorry.
Nailed it. So Green enters the bunk room. She undresses and goes to take a bath. Now, we don't see any tits or ass, which is fine because I don't really want to see hers anyway.
She's
And she knocks.
like concentration camp tits.
Yeah. So she hears a knock on the door, but there's no one there when she opened it. And the only surprise here is the gigantic back tattoo that Green has. Now, again, I don't know any high school kids who have giant back pieces.
Like, they might have some shitty tattoos here and there, but she's a pretty big piece.
I mean, it's like shoulder to shoulder,
Right.
huge piece. And she returns to her bubble bath, and she submerges herself. And then when she comes back up, opens her eyes, there's the panda standing over her with a plunger.
Now this is where
This is fucking retarded. He jams the plunger onto her face, covering her mouth and nose, and just basically just starts plunging her to death.
but he doesn't push her under the water.
No!
That would be my first thought. It's like, okay, he's gonna push her face under the water and keep her pinned.
Yeah.
where she'll drown. No,
No, it's like he's
Apparently
plunging like her face like a toy. Like, I guess he's supposed to be sucking the air out of her?
It's so
stupid.
stupid.
It's fucking bonkers ridiculous.
It can't work.
No.
It will not work.
And the fact it's not even an airtight seal around her face. Like, there's no way this works.
I'm just looking at that. I'm like, I call bullshit. Why didn't they just shove her under the water?
Exactly.
That
That
would
would
make
just
so much more
push
sense.
her down.
You can see her thrashing around and all
Yeah.
that stuff, but no, you're gonna have this ridiculous like death of putting a fucking plunger over
On
your face.
yeah, I thought the same thing. It's the stupidest thing. So once she's dead, Panda leaves the plunger stuck to her face for a bit, and he walks off where it falls off. Now downstairs, Purple, Blue, and Neon, they're eating dinner, and the camera angle clearly shows that the bedroom Green was just in is an open loft that you can see through from the bottom.
And you're seeing them all at that table. You have an above shot
Yeah.
of them sitting at that table.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they show like a table from a table up, and you can clearly see into like the lofty bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls feel like, I don't know if it's a drip, something drips down, or they hear something. Because again, the sound
This is
quality.
the thing. Again, the sound quality, but they're feeling the air. There's something dripping down on them.
Okay.
But we just saw the above shot. We just saw the above shot. There's
it's
nothing.
a bedroom.
There's
Yeah.
nothing there.
No.
There's nothing above. There's no ceiling above them. There'd be dripping down on them. It's the
Exactly.
roof, but it's not a. It's
They're not beneath the bathroom, where
Ah.
which what they make the thing is the bathroom overflowing
right.
the water.
And so they're like, oh no, so and so took it now. You know.
yeah, but
Met
obviously
girl just
they're
took a bath.
clearly not. There's
Yeah.
a wide open ceiling above them. So the three of them head upstairs to check it out, and Neon enters the bathroom where they find the dead body of Green in the bathtub. They rush downstairs to use his phone, but of course it's not working. And they try to figure out where the coach might be, where coach might put their cell phones. in comes Pink, still being bitchy and just oblivious to what's happened. She's just like, damn.
Yeah.
And they fill in Pink on what's happened and show her Green's body. And Pink's like, well, maybe she just killed herself. I don't care. And they all hear a purple scream from off camera, rush to her side. And that's when they discover the body of Orange, and with the baton still sticking out of her eye. And while all the girls are looking at the body, Purple decides to hide a manila envelope she finds down her shorts. Yeah. Which, again, is fucking makes
she
no
finds
sense.
a manila envelope that has been found now twice. So it's
yeah, this is the third one.
This is the third one, and you see it kind of shove it into the back of her shorts. So I'm like, maybe Purple, or I call her Scum in this one because they keep calling her Scum, but Scum might be in on this. So I'm like, Purple might be in on this.
Yeah,
because she's hiding the
that.
evidence. So that was my first inclination.
I get it, but I didn't get that inclination, but I understand it. I was like, why the fuck would you hide this? And if you are in on it, and everybody else, you're leaving here to be found, why would you hide it? Because you want these to be found in the first place.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So,
well, it was just fishy.
Yeah, it's weird. So the four of them argue over who they think the killer is. Pink says it can't be the caretaker because he's too ugly, and if she's going to be killed by someone, she wants to be someone hot, which
perfect logic there.
Yeah, perfect. And she also throws out that's why ugly people become serial killers, because no one will fuck them.
She might be onto something there. She might be onto something there. You hear about these motherfuckers who commit these mass murders, and it's like they're always social outcasts and actual little wieners. And then I bet you just.
Ted Bundy was. Everybody said he was a really handsome, nice guy.
True.
He was married. Women loved Ted Bundy.
Well, that guy was a true psychopath. He's stalked. But I'm talking about these mass murderers. You know, these guys who walk into fucking theaters and shoot people up.
Oh, well, that's different than serial killers, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's like there's a little nugget of truth to it. Some people just need to get their dick sucked once in a while, and you know what? They'll probably just chill the fuck out.
There you go. So, Purple then pulls out another envelope, and this one, inside the card, Pink thinks it has an S on it for sex, and it's clearly a 5.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, the killer wants to rape us and kill us, and maybe not in that order. But I'm like, what? It's a fucking
Bad
5,
writing,
people.
yeah.
It's just stupid. Time passes, and they're all sitting on the couch trying to figure out what to do next. And they go back and forth on whether they should make a run for it or stay put. And if they stay, they have to 2 more nights to stay alive before the van comes to pick them up, I guess on Sunday or something. And so they decide to stick it out. I was like, we're going to stay here. And so Purple was like, okay, we need to get out there. Gather as many weapons as we can, which are going to be mostly gardening tools. And Purple then says, because I'm team captain, which, by the way, where did that come from? Where is she in charge? There was never like an election. Okay, Purple, you're a captain. You're in charge.
She just decided.
She just like took over. Which is weird because she's the one like everybody's making fun of, right, except for Blue.
She's like the low man on the totem
pole.
Yeah,
so why would she be in charge? So she tells Neon and Pink to go look for weapons out in the shed while Blue and herself search the house.
And it's funny because the first weapon that she recommends is a lawnmower.
Yeah.
She's like, there's things we can defend ourselves with. Lawnmowers.
Yeah, rakes and lawnmowers.
Right? I'm just like, lawnmower?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So the two groups split up and go off on their own
Maybe
ways.
he's thinking Dead Alive when he's running through chopping everybody up with that thing.
So at this point, Neon's shirt looks like it's glowing in the dark as they enter the greenhouse.
Yeah.
And they search the greenhouse where Pink's bitching some more about stupid. She's just always bitching. And in the back of the greenhouse, which is obviously a completely different building,
right?
They find an axe.
It's like a garage.
Yeah, it's like and a large gardening shears, like straight up Brutus the Barber beefcake style shears. And also in this room, for some reason, like this good sized bubbling pool of water. And the water looks like rusted red. Like I don't know why that water is there. It's like I don't know. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe someone's going to be killed. No, it's just there. And they also find the dead body of Matt and the burnt skeleton remains of Coach Paddington. And they run off to tell the others.
But they leave the weapons.
They do. Like, the whole reason they went out there is they have this giant axe now and these shears. Like,
they have a big axe and some shears. You know, some proper weapons to defend themselves with. And they're like, fuck it.
Okay, we'll just leave them here. Exactly. So back in the house, Blue and Purple, they head down into the basement where they find another envelope. Which I don't understand why this is done, because all the other envelopes have been found on or near a body. This one's just like hanging from a string tied to the basement ceiling. It's just there. And inside, Blue finds a newspaper article that talks about last year's murders, and it's got some numbers circled on it. And it mentions the girls are trained for the National Cheerleading Convention and blah, blah, blah. And it goes on to say that Zoe replaced Purple, which we already know. So there's restating things they've already said. And that Purple's name is circled in red. And she continues on saying that caretaker Quinn was accused of like 4 counts of sexual misconduct with the girls from Westbridge High. Like, again, like, why?
Why did they even put that in there?
Yeah, like, this doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to, oh, maybe Quinn's the killer, but
I
sexual misconduct and is a long jump from being like a pedophile or kid diddler to a fucking mass murderer. Yeah. So now
kid diddler.
So Purple pulls out an envelope now. That's the one she hid down her shorts, and she shows the blue, and the card inside has a red on it. But for some reason, Purple thinks it's an infinity symbol.
Oh my god, I was so mad at this.
Every other card you've seen has had a number on it, but yeah, like, oh, this must be an infinity symbol.
And every single human being would look at it and say
it's an 8. Yeah. Like, don't get if you flip the side, it's infinity. But everybody's first inclination is going to be, oh, that's an 8, not an infinity
symbol. Fuck you, Purple.
Yeah. And Purple realizes the cards are 6, 7, 8, and 9. But she says the S is for the 7, and I'm like, huh?
That was a 5.
In what universe does S equals 7? I would get it if it was a V for like the Roman numeral 5, but what the fuck is an S equals 7?
I guess 7 starts with an
S, maybe.
That's the logic.
Yeah.
I mean,
but why not just put a 7?
Pretty big fucking leap.
I don't get it. It makes no sense. The whole reason they put an S there was to have that stupid line that Pink says, oh, he wants to fuck us and rape us or something like that. Or rape us and kill us. It's, oh my god, it's so awfully, god, I'm gonna pull my hair out, it's so stupid. So, she figures out that the killer is killing someone each hour, and the letters preview the next attack, and that he or she wants them to know exactly how much time they have left to live. And at that point, I'm like, that seems very familiar to me. I think somebody watched New Year's Evil before they wrote this movie. So they rush off to find Neon and Pink, and it cuts to Pink running by herself, and she's just by herself. She just trips and falls onto her bear trap.
Yeah,
and
I do like the scene. She's running, and she goes, oh god, I fucking hate running. And then she trips
and falls right onto the bear trap.
Like, mid-torso.
Yeah, it's lodged onto, it's like the side of her torso. So you got one claw in front and the other claw like in back. So she's sandwiched in this thing. And she dies, but she says, at least it pushes up my boobs. I like it. And then she dies.
I wrote that down too. She falls and she goes, well, and she doesn't say this like with a dying voice.
No.
She doesn't say like, ugh. She's like, well, it pushes up my boobs. I like it. Dead.
Yeah. What?
What the
God
fuck?
Damn it! Like, are we?
What in the balls?
I know you're trying. I guess you're trying to make like a campy throwback to an A slasher.
But
nowadays they're going like, you preached from campy to just fucking scary movie Wayne's Brothers slapstick spoof bullshit.
But they weren't even doing campy good.
No, they weren't.
So it's really. That's the problem with this movie is like it starts off kind of like it's trying to be
serious,
a relatively serious, horror movie, and it gets a little camp here and there. I mean, they got a guy in a fucking panda outfit killing people, so I don't know how serious you got there. But at the same time, none of the lines were like this.
No, that's what I'm saying.
None of the lines were coming, and then it
doesn't
comes
fit.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't fit at all. It's just. And she doesn't even scream when she hits the bear. She's like,
she's she's like, oh shit.
There's no pain or anything.
And like I said, like she doesn't deliver the line like she's dying. She delivers it like it's a gag.
But at the same time, I don't know. Anyway. So Blue and Purple, they're running around now in the dark, and they come across the body of Neon tied to a tree with a bloody pom-pom stuffed in her mouth. And there's also another envelope stuck between her and the rope. Blue takes it, opens it, and now it reads 2:00, and they run off again. That's it.
Plenty of time.
Mm-hmm. So the two of them end up in the back of the greenhouse, where they find the bodies of Matt and the skeleton. And now somehow Purple makes the connection of being out of time and cheering with a stopwatch, which leads her to think that the killer is a cheerleader. And again, what is happening with the logic of this movie?
I don't know where that came from.
Please, any cheerleaders out there, anybody who is a cheerleader or knows anything that might actually hear this, please contact us and let us know if you cheer to a stopwatch or are timed when you cheer.
I mean, I maybe had to have a routine within a couple, you don't want to go over like a time allotted or something.
But at the same time, I don't.
Like, yeah, it's just weird.
I'm thinking back to, okay, I'm at college. I'm watching our college, our team, our school's football team, and the cheerleaders are on the sidelines, and they're cheering. I'm like, I remember. I don't see anybody standing there with that stopwatch or them like,
come on, girls,
making
hurry
sure
up.
they get it in time. The game's going on behind them. They're just doing their thing whenever they want. Like, there's no time restraint. Maybe basketball, you have to get in a timeout or like a quick whistle to get in and out, but it's just fucking weird. I don't get it. So while standing over the dead body of Matt and the bird skeletal remains, they began talking about why they became cheerleaders, and they're giggling to each other. Like, they've totally forgot that they're being murdered one by one and they're staying over 2 dead bodies. But no, let's start telling stories of why we became a cheerleader and laughing.
Ugh.
What's next? The goddamn pillow fight in our bras and underwear? God damn it! So, she sees that, and now Purple sees that something's not quite right with the skeleton.
Something's not quite right, and starts reaching her hands into the bra of the...
By the way, the skeleton is wearing a perfectly fine and undamaged nightgown and robe, even though it's completely burnt to a crisp.
So if basically someone took a burnt crisp skeleton and put on a nightie.
Yes!
A pink nightie, perfectly fine, including bra, and inside the bra are tennis balls.
Tennis balls, where the boobs should be.
To give him boobies.
And again, this makes no sense, because if the body's burnt, the boobs would be burnt too. So why would the skeleton have fake tennis ball boobies? I don't get it! I just don't understand this movie.
I think that's the first time the time on our podcast I've heard the phrase "fake tennis ball boobies" spoken, especially spoken with such rage and passion. I kind of want to hear that again, but I'll listen to it later.
So Purple says that she thinks Coach Paddington was a man. Again, even if that isn't the case, why would the tennis ball still be intact?
And Jesus!
If he was a man and he's dead, the tennis balls would have been burnt too. Why?
This is really getting you worked up.
God. So suddenly the lights go out. Blue screams, Purple grabs a flashlight and shines it on Blue, who is now dead with a javelin through her vagina.
The lights go out, she drops the flashlight, Purple picks it up and shines it on Blue, who now has a javelin sticking out of her cooter. And she's like pinned to the wall.
She's not even pinned, because I thought she was pinned too, but then the javelin is ripped out from behind. Somebody rips it out from behind, and she just falls over dead.
So she's just paralyzed. She doesn't scream or anything.
There's no scream. Exactly. Somebody would scream. That's not going to be like an instant kill.
And it's not going to kill you instantly.
You would have time to scream.
There's been a couple fucking movies we've seen where girls are getting into the vag.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing a lot more girls get into the vag.
Yeah, the Bloody Bible Camp had the axe of the vag.
Bloody Bible Camp had the axe of the vag. New York Ripper had the broken bottle to the vag, but that was a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
But that's two, at least if I can think off the top of my head, where girls are getting vag attacked.
Vag attacked.
Yeah.
So Purple now runs out into the field and is chased by the killer in the panda suit, who's holding the javelin above his head the whole scene, and
it's ridiculous.
The whole scene is ridiculous looking. I mean, the panda's like running, like almost doing like knee highs while he's running, like trying to with like the javelin over his head like a spear or something like that. It's just fucking
ridiculous.
Yeah. Now this crap fest gets worse as Purple stops. She turns, kicks the panda in the crotch, and gently tackles the panda to the ground.
Just, helps lower the panda to the ground.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a tackle or a takedown of some sort. And it's just like, let's turn you to the side and I'll lay you on the ground. And then I'll mount you.
And the kick is pathetic at that, too. It's just like, So Purple grabs a javelin and then impales it through the panda, through like the collarbone area, upper chest, pinning Panda to the ground. Now a car pulls up and an old woman shouts out the window of Purple.
With like a red Devo hat on.
Yeah.
She's like the band Devo, like the weird hats they wear. It's like she's wearing one of those.
Yeah. And so this old crotchety woman starts throwing lemons at Purple and then asks the driver, hey, hand me that can of tuna, which she throws at Purple as well. And meanwhile, Purple's just standing over the panda killer, her hand still gripping the javelin, face covered in blood.
What the fuck is going on?
The car that just drives away.
Yeah, well, this is my thought, is that Purple looks at her and she's got blood on her face and she kind of gives a mean mug. I guess which is supposed to spook him away, but it's so poorly done, it just doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense.
If that's what's supposed to happen,
It
clearly doesn't show it because they never show her looking at the car. They show her back to the car getting food thrown at her, and they show her like the face covered in blood, but she doesn't look. She never turns to the car. But in the first, why is this old lady throwing food at her in the first place?
What the fuck is going on?
Why? Why are they even there? This place is supposed to be out in nowhere. It's not like she's along the side of a
cheerleader
road.
camp.
Yeah. It's not like she's just coming from church or something like old lady. Like, what is going on? Why? Why is this happening?
Is this supposed to be funny?
I don't know. I don't know.
Jesus.
God. So the car drives away.
The car just drives away.
It's just gone. And Purple removes the large mascot head to reveal that it's Banco, a.k.a. Coach Paddington, in the panda suit. Banco says that Quinn was supposed to leave, but he stayed on the grounds, and that's whose burnt skeleton they found. So that's who was burned to death. And she killed him because he was going to spy on them, so she took care of him. She murdered him because he was a peeping Tom, supposedly.
Yeah. So that's okay. So
that's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
And then Purple says, "What about you?" And she says, and then Bango says something because I can't really make again. The sound gets really shitty. I don't know what she said, but I did manage to catch her saying something about now she has to spend her summers watching over ungrateful little shits like you. And she goes on to say that one day, my dear, you will understand when your looks are gone and your body has been ravaged by time.
Well, she doesn't look that bad.
No, she's not.
She's in pretty good shape.
She's in really good shape, and she's
she looks
pretty blonde.
pretty good. Yeah, she's older, but no, she's got it.
Yeah, she's in her 30s, maybe.
She's got it going on. She's like probably late 30s, early 40s.
She probably had the best body of everybody in this movie.
She actually looks like she could do some fucking cheerleading.
Yeah.
She actually looks like pretty fit. Yeah.
Yeah. And Purple replies, so you killed everyone because you're having a midlife crisis. Banco calls it, I had an epiphany, which Purple replies, well, that's insane. And then the end of Banco replies, graduation is what's insane. They throw you out of school just to start another one from ground zero, stripped of your role. Banco also tells Purple that she reminds her of Zoe Decker. There's that good name again. And if she lets her live, she will kill her because one of them has to die. Cue insane laughter. And again, why does one of them have to die?
This doesn't make any sense.
No, this isn't a blood feud or like, you killed my father, prepared. Like, this is like to the death. It's just, I just said to the death. It is cheerleader camp to the death.
I'm a little bit older than you. You have to die.
Yeah, it's like, I don't. So Purple says, I have a better idea, and then just smashes a watch. Like, she breaks a watch. That's her idea.
Smashes the watch, which makes Panko go crazy.
Yeah, she springs. She's like laying flat on her back at this point, and then she sits up, and she's like screaming, freeze frame. Now, before I go on to the rest of this, I want to know how the hell does Banco manage to sit up when she's been pinned to the ground with a javelin? It's pinned to her shoulder, and she just sits up.
Marshall, don't even try anymore. You just can't. You just can't win. You can't win. Come on, old lady with Devo hat throwing lemons.
Yeah, okay. So we cut to Purple sitting in the back of an ambulance talking to some detective. He basically recaps what's happened in the movie, and we learn that Banco is responsible for the murders last year, for the acid stuff, and in case for some reason that wasn't already made clear, he says that, but like, okay.
So it's kind of funny because this scene where she's talking to the cop's like, and a panda suit? That'd be the first thing I'd want to know. Why is this guy wearing a panda suit? It's like he basically becomes the audience in a way. Like, why the fuck? None of this shit makes sense.
Yeah, he's like, you want me
to
believe
this is really
what?
stupid. It's like basically the cop is almost like the audience. Because that's almost how I felt. I'm like, none of this made sense. This is all ridiculous. This is all stupid. And he's kind of saying the same thing. And I'm like, is that intentional?
Yeah, and while we're sitting there talking about this cop who has like this one of the smallest roles in this movie might be the best actor in this movie.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe Banco did okay, but she was a little over top, but this guy was, I'm not saying he was Oscar worthy, great, but compared to everybody else, he was solid. Like, he was definitely
because
solid.
the acting in this is just...
It's, oh,
ooh.
God. So he talked to her some more about trying to make sense of what happened, and Purple asks to talk to her family, and like, so the cop's like, okay, he hands her a cell phone, she calls home. She talks to her mom for about 20 seconds before saying, I have to go, but I don't think I want to be a cheerleader anymore. And again, like, where the hell does she have to go? If I was the only survivor of a mass murder attack like this, I think I would want to talk to my parents a little longer than 20 seconds. Cause like, holy shit, you won't believe it. You'd be rattled.
You won't believe this, guys. Yeah.
Talk to me. I'm so glad to be alive. Blah,
Right,
blah, blah.
right.
Like, nope. Hi, Mom. You there? Okay, I don't want to be a cheerleader anymore, but I have to go. Bye.
See
like,
ya.
What? No. So anyway, fade to black. And now it's... Now we cut to 5 zombie cheerleaders standing in a field with pom-poms.
I think it's the same group that died in the beginning.
It's supposed to
They're
be.
wearing the same outfits.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
And it's kind of fun. I don't know. I kind of like this
A
scene.
6'1" limps into frame and leads the zombie cheerleaders in a cheer.
A very slow zombie.
Hey, we
Yeah.
are the
And
champions.
their limbs are kind of
Yeah.
moving funny and, zombie-esque.
So now, after the cheer, it cuts to a long, blonde-haired female zombie that says, "Good job, girls," blows a whistle.
with blood pouring out of her mouth.
Roll credits, and once again, it plays really the only song used in this entire movie, which is that
hair metal
band,
Yeah.
which is called Angels in White, and it's sung by a group name called Dragon Claw.
Nice.
So, of course, I mean, that's pure 80s.
I kind of liked it,
Dragon
honestly.
Claw.
I thought it was like pretty fun. It's like something that's like, your dreams will shatter. It was pretty awesome.
There's no angels in white.
Yeah.
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 It's like, again, obviously the female coach, I guess, is supposed to be Banco, but why is she? I don't know. It just seemed weird to me, like why she'd be there and blowing a whistle, because we never see her coaching. We never see her blowing a whistle. She does nothing. The only time we ever see a coach in the very beginning is that male coach who, like, what's with the stopwatch? I don't get it. So
There it is.
yeah. So, and it's no wonder these 8 minutes take, these credits, like we said, take 8 minutes, because they are the slowest moving credits I've ever seen in my life.
It was
Now,
ridiculously slow.
the credits at the end of an Avengers movie or the new Star Wars movie, they didn't last as long as this, and they always have thousands and thousands of credits to go through. This one had like maybe 100, and it just took forever. And because it was so goddamn slow, it gave me time to look some things up. So during the special thanks section of the credits, special thanks are given to 1, the village of Beaver Crossing, which is a small village in Nebraska, and as of the 2010 census has a population of 430, yet it still has a 3-star hotel that costs an average $120 a night. Fuck that.
Hey, if you want to go to Beaver Crossing and live it up,
Live it up.
all you need is $120 a night.
For a 3-star hotel. Are you kidding me? Anyway, so also in the special thanks, Jennifer Banco and Ari Lehman are credited in the special thanks. Special thanks given to these two, which again I think is odd, because I've never seen like a Tom Cruise movie where Tom Cruise or somebody's like listed in the special thanks, which is just weird.
Well, maybe she put up a little bit of money.
And also this Jared Allen. Now I don't know if this is supposed to be the professional football player Jared Allen or
doubt it.
somebody else, but I just noticed that.
I doubt it.
And the very last name on the special thanks section is Uma Thurman, which I'm like, what?
Inspiration,
why?
perhaps?
I don't know. Like, why Uma Thurman? I just found that was really
Thank
weird.
you. We like to thank George Washington to be
Yeah.
the father of our country.
Thanks, Uma.
Yeah.
So, all right. With that said, let's move on to favorite kills.
There can be only one. Favorite kill?
All right. There's not a whole lot in this movie, and they're all kind of retarded, but what do you got for favorite kills, Aaron? What's your favorite?
I'm gonna have to go with the kid who got killed in the panda suit. I mean, it wasn't a great kill, but I just like he's like, my name is Matt Copeland, and fuck you, and that's my favorite kill because it was just so ridiculous. It gives you the panda suit that you're gonna use, and then that weird Slimer effect afterwards. I'm just like, what the fuck? But for some reason, I liked that line.
All right. For me, I don't know. When I first saw the plunger, I was like, "Oh, this could be." Nope, that sucks.
Yeah.
Stab to the eye. We've seen it before. Bear trap. Nope. Impaled through a vag. The vag is like, cool, but happens so quick you barely see it.
Veg attack.
Vag attack. So I'm probably gonna go with the opening, the 6 opening.
That's the best effect.
It's the best effects.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best effect.
Yeah, just the face pin. I'm gonna go with the very opening kills with the acid sprinkler as being my favorite kill for this one. All right, that takes care of that. Moving on to odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
Now, there is not much for this. This is going to be a really short one this week. Ratings, IMDb gives it a 3.8 out of 10, which I think way too high.
Sure.
Rotten Tomatoes, nothing at all. No thermometer score, not even an audience score, just nothing.
Is it even listed on the site?
It's listed there, but there's no score for it.
So literally zero.
Zero. And Amazon gives it a 2.6. So at least Amazon's finally trying to lower some of their things a little bit. Still a bit high.
Way too high.
Plot keywords, 0. Absolutely none.
Wow. So hey, there you can.
So anybody sees this, you can add some to it.
Moon goons, if you're out there, go for it.
Yeah, have fun. Live it up. Panda suit for one.
Duh. Yeah, it's a gimme. Badge tack.
Pink vibrator.
What color were that girl's panties? Because the panty guys will know.
Panty guys, yeah, the panty guys. Yeah, I'm surprised their pink panties weren't on there.
Panty guys will come out in droves.
Yeah, they will. Trivia, nothing, no tidbits. Budget, nope. Couldn't find that either.
$1,000. That'd be my guess.
Yeah. All right, so that's really it. That brings us to 5-star reviews.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
All right, now 5-star reviews. There were only one from a girl named Brittany, and which says it's the bee's knees. 5 stars. That's it. But because that's it, I went a little deeper. Like, all right, let's see what's next.
We gotta get a little bit better than that.
So I went to 4-star. Let's see what we got.
So someone actually thought, man, it's not quite 5, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, there are 2 4 stars.
God.
So from Vlad, low budget homage to a classic 80s slasher, had a lot of high points. Jennifer Banco, who graced the screens of both Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw, blah blah blah. First Jason himself, Ari Lehman. Bitchy girls, gory deaths, fun humor, and an interesting yet bizarre ending. My only real complaint was a couple lines were hard to hear at the end, but at this price, I would watch this again for sure. 4 stars.
At this price, what did you get it for?
I don't know.
I had to pay $2.
Yeah, it's still too much. So I think I actually bought this movie. I didn't rent it. I bought it.
Ooh.
Because, like, I watched it so long ago because I was trying to schedule things in advance.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't want to keep re-renting it. So by the time I rent this 2, maybe 3 times before we get to it, it's cheaper just to buy it. I'm like,
you own this piece of
I'm
shit?
not proud if I own this. I own this in the cloud somewhere. From Don Yarbrough. I just watched this on Amazon Prime. Was quite a fun slasher. I really enjoyed the beginning and how it set up what would be the motive for the slasher. I wish the movie would have been longer and we could have gotten more stalk and chase sequences and a little over an hour with really long credits added on. I would have liked a little more. The slasher wearing a panda suit was great, sort of had that girls' night out vibe. Some of the kills were great too. I especially liked the plunger one. I thought it was well handled. Bonus points for casting Ari Lehman. He always rocks in any movie he's in. This is one to watch for cheap. I would probably, PRLY, probably own it and rewatch it. 4 stars.
Wow.
The last 2 are 1-star reviews, just because I wanted to go down. First one from Walt Kramer, 2 words, sums it up. Total crap, 1 star. Last one from Holly Appleby, 1-star review. Honestly, the biggest load of crap I've ever seen, and I've seen quite a few. This film was just absolutely boring, didn't make any sense, and there was no proper gore. Plus, the cheerleaders all looked a lot older than they were supposed to be. Also, very terrible acting. Anyone who thinks this film is great and worth a watch obviously wouldn't know a decent film if it jumped up and bit him in the arse. 1 star. So that's, not much for the closing, the odds and ends of this one. But that brings us, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, I mean, crappy movie brings crappy reviews, brings no fun really. I mean, geez, this was a stinker.
Yeah, it was a stinker. But that's our job. We weed out the stinkers.
There's our PSA for you guys. So I think we're gonna have to.
We pretty much know what you're gonna say here. For to make it official, Aaron, final thoughts.
So bad it's scary.
Scary.
So bad it's scary. Hey.
Hey. Yeah, same here. Doubling up. So bad it's scary.
No cheer.
I'm worn out. I've been drained earlier, but just so yeah. I'm not even gonna go into why. We've covered it. It sucks. Do not watch this movie.
Don't.
It's like I'm just in a bad mood now. Like I'm just depressed. Like I don't even know. I'm trying to get energy so I can end this on a high note. But I was like, I got nothing left, man. I just don't care.
Hey, how about this?
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
You'll never have to watch it again.
Yeah, that's the point. I never have to watch this ever again.
All right.
All right, Moon Goons. Thanks for listening. Check us out on Facebook. Check our website out, horriblehorrorpodcast.com. You can also find us on Twitter at So Bad It's Scary, and check us out on Instagram at Horrible Horror Podcast. You can download and listen to the episodes at horriblehorror.podbean.com. And, of course, you can subscribe to us, like us, and do all the good stuff on iTunes as well. 100% free. Everything's good. You can check out all the new bonus content we put up from the convention, our interviews and pictures. There's a few videos on our YouTube page. We're still growing that, but there's just a few things there.
Yeah, we're trying to get a little bigger and better.
Yeah, we're slowly but surely getting there. So that's it. In the meantime, Moon Goons, watch more horror movies, and we'll talk to you down the road. Keep it tight!